The midday sun is exactly overhead at least once a year on all latitudes in between the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn. This area therefore receives maximum heat and is called dash.
Exactly. Torrid zone makes sense, and it is right choice.
The imaginary line which divides the Earth into two equal halves is called.
Solid response. Equator is a valid choice.
Which important line of latitude is located at 90 degrees north?
Great thinking. Arctic Circle is the right choice. The imaginary lines that run from north to south are called.
You're right. Latitude is the correct answer.
Part of the Earth below the equator is called. Excellent choice. Southern Hemisphere is the right answer.
Which line measures at 0 degrees longitude?
Excellent. Prime meridian is a brilliant choice. An imaginary line running from east to west on the globe that divides it into two equal parts. This line is known as the dash.
Well picked. Equator is the correct answer. What lines runs north and south?
Sharp thinking. Longitudes is the right choice.
The frigid zone lies near dash.
Right again. The poles is a valid answer.
The 0-degree longitude, which passes through Greenwich where the British Royal Observatory is located, is called as dash.
Nice work. You chose prime meridian and it is correct.
Dash. This zone lies between the Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn and receives the maximum amount of heat.
Correct. Torrid zone is the right answer.
As we move away from the equator towards either the North Pole towards the South Pole, the climate changes from.
Nice selection. Hot, warm, cool. Cold is the correct and valid answer.
The imaginary line on which our Earth rotates is called dash. It passes through the center of the Earth.
Strong choice. Axis is the right answer.
The zone that lies between the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn is called the dash zone.
Good thinking. Torrid is the right answer.
Lines of reference from the North Pole to the South Pole. These lines of references are called.
Right choice. Meridians of longitude is the best answer.
When northern and southern hemispheres have moderate temperatures, these are therefore called dash.
Well reasoned. Temperate zones is the correct choice.
Imaginary line running on the globe divides it into two equal parts. This line is known as dash.
On track. Equator is the correct answer.
What divides the Earth into two equal parts? The northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere.
Bravo. Equator is the answer.
A dash is a set of horizontal and vertical lines that crisscross each other and form a network.
Smart move. Grid is an accurate answer.
The imaginary line drawn around the Earth, exactly midway between the two poles, is called dash.
Well done. Equator is the right choice.
The local time of 82Q30 longitude is taken as a standard throughout India. It is known as. Clear logic. Your choice Indian Standard Time is sound and 100% true. The first type of circles run from west to east and are parallel to equator are called dash.
Perfect.
Both A and B is the correct choice.
What is the imaginary line that divides the Earth into northern and southern hemispheres?
Correct response. Equator is the most accurate answer.
Based on the heat received from the sun, the Earth is divided into -A heat zones. Smart pick. 3 is the correct choice. The imaginary line that divides the Earth into 2 equal parts is known as the dash.
You chose equator, and it is correct.
In which year did Sir Sandford Fleming develop the system of standard time zones? You got it. Your choice 1878 is right. All parallel circles from the equator up to the poles are called parallels of dash. Valid point. Latitudes is true. This heat zone lies between the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn dash. Nicely done. Torrid zone is a solid answer. If the time at prime meridian 12:00 p.m., what is the time at 180-degree longitude?
Great job. 12:00 am is the accurate answer.
The value of each latitude is therefore followed by either the word dash or dash. Good job. Your answer north or south works well here. What time does Earth take rotating from 1 degree longitude to next longitude? Nice work. You chose 4 minutes, and it is correct. If in India the time is 7:00 a.m., then what will be the time at +9 longitude? You got it. Your choice 10:30 am is right. What are circular parallel lines that run from equator till the poles know as? You're right. Parallels of latitudes is the correct answer. By measuring the angle dash your place, you can know the dash of your place.
Sharp thinking. Pole star, latitude is the right choice.
When rays are slanting and provides less heat are called dash. Great job. Frigid zones is the accurate answer. East or Indian Standard Time is -hours-minutes ahead of Otzi and Gimt. Smart move. 5 hours 30 minutes is an accurate answer. What are the lines running from the North Pole to the South Pole called? Great thinking. Meridians of longitude is the right choice. The eastern and western hemispheres are divided by which imaginary line? On track? B prime meridian is the correct answer.
Longitudes to the west of the prime meridian are called dash longitudes.
Correct west is the right answer. The places that remain frozen throughout the year come in the dashes zone. Perfect. Frigid is the correct choice. What divides the Earth into the eastern and the western hemispheres?
Valid point. Prime meridian is true.
Sixth of the dash divides the Earth into northern and southern hemisphere. You chose equator, and it is correct. The area that receives the maximum heat and is called the dash zone. Correct response. Torrid is the most accurate answer. The imaginary lines that run vertically from north to south are dash. Solid response. Longitudes is a valid choice. The torrid zone is the area between the Arctic and Antarctic Circle. Well reasoned. Disagree is the correct choice. What is called a needle fixed through the globe in a tilted manner? Clear logic. Your choice axis is sound and 100% true.
The northern half of the Earth is known as the Northern Hemisphere.
Good job. Your answer true works well here.
All circles from the equator up to poles are called latitudes.
Well picked. Parallel is the correct answer.
This region receives direct rays from the sun throughout the year.
Excellent choice. Torrid zone is the right answer.
The prime meridian separates the Earth into what two hemispheres?
Nicely done. Western and Eastern is a solid answer.
The Earth also moves on its own axis. What is this motion called?
Bravo. Rotation is the answer.
What is the prime meridian and which longitude does it represent? Excellent. 0 degrees longitude is a brilliant choice. Which of the following are shown on the globe in their true size?
Well done. All of these is the right choice.
Compares a distance on the map to a distance on the real Earth.
Exactly. Map scale makes sense and it is right choice.
What is the direction of the movement or rotation of the Earth?
Nice selection. West to east is the correct and valid answer.
The dash is taken as the reference line for drawing longitudes.
Right choice. Prime meridian is the best answer.
What is a flat representation of an area of the Earth is called?
Good thinking. A map is the right answer.
Is the Tropic of Cancer above the equator or below the equator?
Strong choice. Above is the right answer.
Area bounded by Tropic of Cancer and the Arctic Circle is dash.
Right again. Temperate zones is a valid answer.
The globe is a true miniature model of the Earth.
Smart pick. True is the correct choice.
The place whose longitude is dash ash will be 2 has behind Gimt.
You got it? You got it? Your choice 30 degrees west is right.
Any two opposite longitudes when joined together form a dash. Perfect. Great circle is the correct choice. A change in the accuracy of a map's shapes and distance is?
Excellent. A distortion is a brilliant choice.
Which one of the following is used to measure the latitudes?
Great thinking. Degree is the right choice.
Which of the following region is located at the South Pole?
Nicely done. Antarctic Circle is a solid answer.
High temperature in entire year is the feature of dash zone.
Well done. Torrid is the right choice.
Time difference between the two consecutive meridians dash.
Right again. 4 minutes is a valid answer.
The distance between the longitudes decreases towards dash.
Correct. Pole is the right answer.
When does torrid zone receives the maximum amount of heat?
Clear logic. Your choice midday is sound and 100% true.
The frigid zones are located near which part of the Earth?
Sharp thinking. B, the poles is the right choice.
Whence all parallels lie north side of the equator are called?
On track. North latitudes is the correct answer.
What is the equator and which latitude does it represent?
Valid point. 0 degrees latitude is true. A true model of the Earth is called dash. Exactly. Globe makes sense and it is right choice. You will notice that a needle, which is called its dash. Well reasoned. Axis is the correct choice. Arctic Circle is dash to south and north of the equator.
Nice selection. 66.5% is the correct and valid answer. The equator divides the globe into what two hemispheres?
Solid response. Northern and southern hemisphere is a valid choice. How much differences of time between Greenwich and India? Good job. Your answer 5 30 minutes works well here.
How much time is taken to cross a longitude by the sun?
Well picked. 4 minutes is the correct answer. We calculate the time according to the position of the. Strong choice. Sun is the right answer.
Dash helps us to find the time of a place on the globe. Smart move. Longitudes is an accurate answer. The spherical representation of the Earth is called dash.
Excellent choice. Globe is the right answer.
How many minutes are there in 1 degree of longitude?
Right choice. 4 minutes is the best answer. Which country is called the land of the rising sun? Nice work. You chose Japan and it is correct. The dash degrees south latitude marks the South Pole. You're right. 90 is the correct answer. Maximum distance between two longitudes found on dash.
Correct response. Equator is the most accurate answer.
How are latitudes and longitudes measured on a globe? You chose in degrees, and it is correct.
An imaginary line that divides the Earth in two parts.
Bravo! Equator is the answer. 5. The area that receives the maximum heat is called. Great job! Torrid zone is the accurate answer.
Longitudes divides the Earth in how many time zones?
Good thinking. 24 time zones is the right answer. The Arctic Circle is located in the dash hemisphere. Smart pick. Northern is the correct choice.
The Antarctic Circle is located in which hemisphere?
Good thinking. Southern is the right answer. How many important parallels of latitude are there? Bravo! 5 is the answer. A needle fixed through the globe is called its dash. Solid response. Axis is a valid choice. All parallels north of the equator are called dash. Well reasoned. North latitudes is the correct choice. The time difference between India and Greenwich is.
Nicely done. 5 hours 30 minutes is a solid answer.
How many degrees of longitude does the Earth have? Great job. C360 is the accurate answer. Point where all the meridians meet is called dash.
Excellent choice. Pole is the right answer.
The total number of parallels across the globe is. Sharp thinking. 181 is the right choice. How many degrees of longitude are there in total? Good job. Your answer 360 works well here. The equator represents the dash degree latitude. Excellent. Zoe is a brilliant choice.
Distance between longitudes are measured in dash. You're right. Degrees is the correct answer. Total number of heat zones of the Earth are dash. On track. 3 is the correct answer. Longitudes are dash line on the Earth's surface. Strong choice. Vertical lines is the right answer. Antarctic Circle is present in which hemisphere? You chose southern, and it is correct. Where the British Royal Observatory is located? Great thinking. Greenwich is the right choice. Places in the torrid zone get dash rays of sun. Well done. Direct is the right choice. Earth rotates around an imaginary line known as... Smart move. Axis is an accurate answer. A dash is a small spherical model of the Earth. Right choice. Globe is the best answer. What is the volume of international dateline? Clear logic. Your choice 180 degree is sound and 100% true. Each time zone covers dash degree of longitude. Perfect. 15 is the correct choice. Dash is at 66.12 degree north of the equator. Well picked. Arctic Circle is the correct answer. The southernmost point on the Earth is called? Valid point. South Pole is true. The total number of meridians across the globe. Exactly. 360 makes sense and it is right choice. India is located in which side of the equator? Right again. North is a valid answer. The local time at any place is determined by... Correct response. A longitude is the most accurate answer. Prime meridian is located is USA. Nice work. You chose false, and it is correct. Dhubri in Assam is located at which latitude? Nice selection. 26 degree N is the correct and valid answer. How many major heat zones are there on Earth? Correct. 3 is the right answer. The continent of Asia is in which hemisphere? You got it. Your choice Eastern is right. The first ever globe was made by dash in dash. Smart pick. Martin Behaim 1492 is the correct choice. Latitudes and longitudes are measured in dash. Well done. Degrees is the right choice. Dash lines on a globe run from east to west. On track. Latitude is the correct answer. 1 degree longitude is equal to dash minutes. Nice work. You chose 4 minutes and it is correct. The southern part of Earth is known as dash. Excellent. Southern hemisphere is a brilliant choice. How many time zones are there in the world? Correct response. 24 is the most accurate answer. Andaman and Nicobar Islands are located in... Perfect. Bay of Bengal is the correct choice. Earth can be divided into dash hemispheres. Nicely done. 4 is a solid answer. Which of the following is the coldest zone? You got it. Your choice, frigid zone, is right. The axis of the Earth is an imaginary line.
Great thinking. True is the right choice.
What are the 3 heat zones of the Earth?
Nice selection. Torrid, temperate, frigid is the correct and valid answer. The 0-degree meridian is also known as dash. Clear logic. Your choice prime meridian is sound and 100% true. Longitudes and latitudes together make dash. Well picked. Great is the correct answer.
Antarctic Circle is at dash of the equator. Correct. 66.1.2 degrees south is the right answer. The Earth is inclined at the angle of dash.
Sharp thinking. 23.1.2 degree is the right choice.
In which ocean are Tonga Islands situated?
Valid point. Pacific Ocean is true.
The Tropic of Capricorn is located at dash.
Exactly. 24.5 makes sense and it is right choice.
Tropic of Capricorn is 23.12 degree north.
Right again. False is a valid answer.
At there are 181-B, there are 360-. Good thinking. A latitudes, B longitudes is the right answer. How many standard times does Russia have?
Bravo. 11 is the answer.
In which direction does the Earth rotate? Smart move. West to east is an accurate answer. The time at the prime meridian is called.
Good job. Your answer C, Greenwich. Mean time works well here.
The northernmost end of the axis is dash.
You chose North Pole, and it is correct.
The globe and the Earth are different in.
Solid response. Size is a valid choice.
There are dash latitudes in the world.
You're right. 181 is the correct answer.
Longitude lines run from north to south.
Right choice. True is the best answer.
Degree east and 180 degree west are dash. Great job. Same line is the accurate answer. The Earth takes dash to rotate 1 degree. Well reasoned. 4 minutes is the correct choice.
70. What is the true shape of the Earth? Excellent choice. Geoid is the right answer.
2 end points of the axis are called.
Strong choice. Poles is the right answer.
The total number of longitudes are dash.
Smart pick. 360 is the correct choice.
The prime meridian passes through dash. Great job. Greenwich is the accurate answer. Which of the following is a longitude? Good job. Your answer prime meridian works well here. When was the first ever globe created?
You got it. Your choice 1492 is right. Istis is ahead of Gimti by how many hours? Smart pick. 5 hours 30 minutes is the correct choice.
How many time zones does Russia have? Nicely done. 11 is a solid answer. What is the meaning of post-meridian?
Correct. Afternoon is the right answer.
3 Antarctic Circle is located in the...
Excellent choice. Southern Hemisphere is the right answer.
What is the best way to measure time?
Well done. Movement of sun is the right choice.
Which zone receives the maximum heat?
Well reasoned. B. Torrid zone is the correct choice. 0-degree latitude is known as dash. You chose equator, and it is correct.
What is the inclination of the Earth?
Good thinking. 23.5 degree is the right answer.
Dash is 23.5 degrees north.
Bravo. Tropic of Cancer is the answer. Horizontal lines drawn in the globe. Excellent. Latitude is a brilliant choice. North of the parallels are known as? Strong choice. North latitudes is the right answer. How many heat zones are on the Earth? Sharp thinking. 3 is the right choice. Equator is considered dash latitude. Solid response. 0 degrees is a valid choice. What direction does latitude run in? Valid point. West-east is true.
Why latitude lines never intersect? Nice selection. These lines are parallel is the correct and valid answer. Another name for longitudes is dash.
Well picked. Meridian is the correct answer.
What are east to west lines called?
Smart move. Latitudes is an accurate answer. Latitudes run in a dash direction. You're right. East-west is the correct answer. Degree longitude is called as dash. Right again. International date line is a valid answer. The total number of longitudes is? Clear logic. Your choice 360 is sound and 100% true. Kohima is the capital city of dash. On track. Nagaland is the correct answer.
Dash is a true model of the Earth.
Exactly. Globe makes sense and it is right choice. The equator is also called as dash. Nice work. You chose Great Circle and it is correct. The total number of parallels are? Perfect. 181 is the correct choice. The Earth moves from dash to dash. Correct response. West to east is the most accurate answer. Moderate climate is found in dash. Right choice. Temperate zone is the best answer. How many longitudes on the Earth? Great thinking. None of these is the right choice. Some globes can be carried easily. Correct response. Yes is the most accurate answer. What is the tilt of Earth's axis?
Right again. 20.5 degrees is a valid answer.
The standard meridian of India is? Great job. 821 bread 2 degrees east is the accurate answer. Dash has many as 11 time zones. You got it. Your choice Russia is right. Tonga Island is situated in dash. Correct. Pacific Ocean is the right answer. What is the capital city of Goa? Bravo. Panaji is the answer. 4 total number of latitudes are? Excellent. 180 is a brilliant choice. 2-end point of axis is called?
You chose poles, and it is correct.
Dash-is are the hottest zone? Well reasoned. Torrid zone is the correct choice. Network of crisscrossing lines. Smart move. Grid is an accurate answer. Longitudes are equal in length.
You're right. True is the correct answer.
Who made the first ever globe?
Exactly. Martin B. Haim makes sense, and it is right choice.
How many time zones are there? Clear logic. Your choice 24 is sound and 100% true. The Antarctic Circle lies near. On track. The Southern Hemisphere is the correct answer. How many latitudes are there? Perfect. 360 is the correct choice. Globe is a true model of dash. Great thinking. Earth is the right choice. Total number of continents is? Strong choice. Sen is the right answer. Capital city of Uttar Pradesh. Right choice. Lucknow is the best answer. What is the full form of IST? Excellent choice. Indian Standard Time is the right answer. Chandrapur is in which state? Well done. Maharashtra is the right choice. The Tropic of Cancer is dash. Nice work. You chose 2312 North and it is correct. How many meridians are there? Nice selection. 360 is the correct and valid answer. The axis is parallel to the. Sharp thinking. Prime meridian is the right choice. Half of the Earth is called. Nicely done. Hemisphere is a solid answer. Which is the hottest zone? Solid response. Torrid zone is a valid choice. The frigid zone lies near. Smart pick. The poles is the correct choice. Equator divides Earth in.
Well picked. Southern and Northern Hemisphere is the correct answer.
Latitudes have dash lines. Good job. Your answer 180 works well here. There are dash latitudes. Valid point. 180 is true. Earth rotates along dash. Good thinking. West to east is the right answer. A globe is of what shape? Smart move. Sphere is an accurate answer. Equator is also known as. Well reasoned. Great circle is the correct choice. There are dash meridians.
Right choice. 360 is the best answer.
The word frigid means. Correct. Cold is the right answer. The longest latitude is? Great job. Equator is the accurate answer. The equator lies at dash. Nicely done. Zodigree is a solid answer. The shape of Earth is? Well picked. Geoid is the correct answer. The Earth rotates from. Excellent choice. West to east is the right answer. Some globes are fixed. Valid point. False is true. First date changes at. Sharp thinking. New Zealand is the right choice. The Earth is a sphere. Right again. No is a valid answer. Meridians travel from. Clear logic. Your choice north to south is sound and 100% true. Our Earth moves from. Perfect. West to east is the correct choice. Dash means moderate. Excellent. Temperate is a brilliant choice. Portable means dash. Nice work. You chose easy to carry around, and it is correct.
Meridian means dash. You got it. Your choice 1 is right. It stands for dash. Solid response. Indian Standard Time is a valid choice. All meridians are. Great thinking. Semicircles is the right choice. Earth's shape is. You're right. Geoid is the correct answer. A grid is made of.
Strong choice. Both a MB is the right answer.
Full form of idol. Smart pick. International date line is the correct choice. Full form of GIMT. Nice selection. Greenwich Mean Time is the correct and valid answer.
90 degrees south.
Bravo. South Pole is the answer.
What is a globe?
Exactly. True model of Earth makes sense, and it is right choice.
Equator is an.
Good job. Your answer imaginary circular line works well here. Longitudes are. Good thinking. Meridians is the right answer. Latitudes are. On track. Parallels is the correct answer. How you will get all these quiz questions in PDF books format? Well done. Contact Narayan Changder on Facebook is the right choice.